longtime BKFC athlete Paige Dancer, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuit. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Throw up the deuces. There you go, baby.
Hey, what's going on, boys and girls? Good evening and welcome to Cage Side with Christopher James. I am Christopher James, and you are here with me. How you doing, guys? Good to see you. Hope everybody is having a good day. Hope you all had a great weekend. I did. I watched fights, hung out with my wife, had some fun conversation with my grandson on the phone. It was all a good time. Just sharing this out to the groups out there right now, so give me just a second to do some business here, get everything out there. If you guys watch UFC Fight Night Vegas or UFC Vegas 59, I don't even know what Fight Night number it is. I go by the Vegas number now. So UFC Vegas 59 was on the air, and what a show. 10 fights, 10 finishes, 7 wins by TKO or KO, 3 submissions, including the very first female to win a fight via the Von Flue choke. Absolutely incredible. Corey McKenna, she did a phenomenal job. It was awesome to watch all the action. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I hope you guys did too. I wish the UFC would have given out more bonuses, like they did at UFC London a few months back, where they gave out 9 bonuses. And out of 12 fights, 9 fights finished. 9 fights were finishes out of 12 at UFC London a few months back, and 9 fighters got bonuses, but they didn't do that here. Curious as to why, but you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? So you just roll with the punches, and hopefully, you know, the UFC will do something on the back end. You know what? Anthony Pettis called mailbox money, where they give you something after the fights. So I hope everybody's having a good day as you're tuning in to watch Cage Side with Christopher James, because that's what we are, Cage Side with Christopher James. Like I said, I'm just sharing this out to a bunch of groups right now. Yeah, I know, Forrest, that's probably what the reason is, but it's bullshit. The UFC makes enough money where they can, you know, dig into their coffers and hook these guys up and girls, especially Corey McKenna. I mean, if nothing else, give that girl a $50,000 bonus. Von Flue choke. Nobody's ever done that as a female. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. What are you going to do? But anyway, we have a great show tonight. Also, tomorrow night, we'll be back with another show. Tomorrow night, we're going to have undefeated boxer Devin Cushing joining us at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the man who stole the show at the Apex at UFC Vegas 59, hands of steel himself, Jeff Neal, coming back through on Cage Side with Christopher James. We are excited to have him. He's been on with us before. He's always a lot of fun, always a good guy, one of the coolest dudes in MMA. So, you know, we're doing that. So we're waiting for our first guest, Britton Beltran, to join us. It's 7:01. She's supposed to join us at 7 p.m. And let me just let her know we're ready when she is. I hear even the little touch. It's funny because I have my microphone on my desk. Normally I have it up on my swing arm, but I moved it. So I have to put it back up on the swing arm. I will do that for tomorrow's show, because when you touch the desk, you hear all the noise from the desk on the microphone. That's why they have the swinging arm, so you don't have to hear all that desk touching noise. That's good stuff. 31% right here. Good stuff. Yum, yum. Yeah. Derek Gates, what's going on? Debbie Jean, Forrest, Vera versus Cruz this weekend. I'm taking Dominic Cruz to win that fight, just to throw it out there. Smoke 'em with me. Smoke it up if you got it. Smoke 'em, smoke 'em, smoke 'em. I love hearing the bubbling through the microphone in my headphones. Ah. Oh, that felt good. Crickety crack. Oh, my neck and my back. So what's good up in the hood, man? I know you can hear it loud and clear. That's what the best part about it is, brother. Ain't no shame in the game right here, baby. It's Kate's our Christopher James. All right, so the last one took a little bit of a hold on me, but you know, it's all good. We're just waiting for Beltran to join us right now. She's got a big fight coming up. I was just looking down at the screen to see what's going on down here. 54.7%. Holy shit, Derek Gates. That's some high quality THC right there. Ain't no joking around when you're on that shit. You guys can hear me, of course, right? Debbie, I don't know why you can't hear me, but everybody else can hear me, correct? That's what I'm assuming. Really? You can barely hear me? How about now? Is that a little bit better? Because the setup is the same as always. Huh. Well, I can't start over, so we're just going to have to bear with it, guys. That's all I can tell you. Sometimes technology fucks us up. Let's turn the mic up a little bit. Can you guys hear me now? Better. Is that better? I can hear everything in my ear. Well, that's all I can do. I don't know what to tell you guys. Yeah, let me see something here. And, you know. Let me replug the microphone. Hang on, guys. Because it's giving me, I hear the ringing noise now. Hold on a second, kids. guys hear me? Is that any better? Is that any better? Is that any better? Is that any better, guys? Okay, good. I'm glad. I don't know what the hell happened there. That was really weird. It seemed like both of my microphones, the one that's built in on the camera and the one that is built in, right here, were fighting with each other. Where is Britton Beltran? I'm glad she didn't come up for those first 10 minutes, but now she got to show up. All right. I'm glad we were able to fix it. I was a little upset there. Whew. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sometimes, technical things, and the microphones were fighting against each other. And I guess that's what was causing the buzz. So I unconnected everything and reconnected, except for the camera. I couldn't unconnect the camera. I went in and adjusted the settings on the microphones. Now you should hear the bubbling. Let's see if we hear the bubbling this time. You heard that, didn't you? All right. All right. So while we're waiting on Britton Beltran, she does have a big fight coming up. Let me see. Let me pull that up here real quick. She just messaged me. She goes, "Oops, I lost track of time." Tomorrow night, my dude Bo Nickel goes live on the Contender Series. He's like a minus 1,000 or minus 1,400 favorite to win his fight. He's had one MMA fight, won it by knockout. Had a few amateur MMA fights. He's won all those. He's probably one of the most insane wrestlers on the planet. to transition over to MMA in modern times, and he is going to be an absolute animal. I cannot wait to. It's minus 1,500. Thanks, Forrest. I thought it was something crazy like that, like on a Contender Series fight, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. I mean, the kid is talented. He is an A plus 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 prospect. Some people are just born for this, and Bo Nickel might be one of them. Let me see. Make sure the connection's working here. All right, the link works. It says there's Britain. Let's see. It says device is not connected. There she is.
Oh.
Dum dum, ladies and gentlemen, it's Britain Beltran. She's kind of sideways.
What a grand entrance. So I was thinking. So here, let me apologize to everyone. Like, there's Joey. Say hi, Joey.
What's up, Joey B?
I know he's pumped. He's seen me freaking out, so he's got the blunt of it. I'm like, oh my god, no way! This stupid YMCA. The YMCA's never have good signal. FYI to anybody out there wanting to do a business or like meeting with their friend. If you were talking to someone like completely, and that just takes so much slow. But anyways, it was a little bit of a hassle getting out. So I'm super sorry about being late, but never without excitement. So how are you doing, Chris?
I'm good. And don't worry about being late, because for like the first 8 minutes, we were having issues with the audio and we couldn't get it to work right. And there was this buzzing and ringing. So I was kind of glad that you were a little late, because I would have hate to have you sat there and listen in your headphones to beep. That just would have been annoying.
Perfect. We're good. I feel better then.
So since we're running a little behind, we're going to jump right in. So you've got a pretty big fight coming up. First of all, before I even get to that fight, I know your last fight didn't go the way you wanted. Or no, the last fight went the way you wanted. You beat Beck. And real quick, touch on that, because we haven't spoken since before that fight. How cool was it to avenge the loss?
Yeah, it was super cool. I mean, one, I knew it was going to happen, so I'm not like overly excited about it. It was kind of a chill fight and everything like that. But I mean, to be fair, I honestly think that I won the first one with the split decision. And I do love stirring the pot on the whole knockdown flip thing. It's so stupid, but I just love it. It still cracks me up. But so yeah, it was no animosity. It was no bad feelings for me for that fight. I was just loving it, thinking, I already know I won. I already know what was up, and now I'm way better than this girl. So let's go. And the only thing for the tidbit we'll hit on is, I just roll my eyes to these people who I'm saying running, and even to her, with her big knots on her forehead and her busted lips, saying, pussy bitch and all the dumbass pussy shit she wants to call me. But basically, like, your face doesn't lie. I've been dying and waiting for that moment, because I've always been on the end, the other end of the stick, so to speak. And so now I can see it clear as day. I was untouched and still fine, and she was obviously all busted up. But my thing with it is, I don't have to explain my resume to anybody. I really don't. This whole run-in nonsense, like, you guys have seen me go in there with wars against, Christine, Jenny Savage, Pearl, people that are way bigger than me. So let's just get this really clear right now. Is why I'm dropping down to 115 for the next fight is because I was beating bitches bigger than me. All those girls at 125, you wouldn't be able to dare think about coming and touching me at 115, because they wouldn't make it. I have always been competitively eating and trying to gain weight to be at the 125 and win and be competitive, and I've done that. And so me too, hearing people talk so much negative stuff about me is wild because you can clearly see it's visible on the screen that these girls are bigger than me and then I'm beating them. And it's not by running. Let's just face it. So I was super happy to do it. So now you see where it goes into this fight. I just love proving people wrong. So if people think, that's the type of fighter and like the last 12 fights that I've had in a row are just missing, I guess I'm going to have to remind everybody how much of a brother I am.
Well, and you said a lot right there. And first of all, I'm glad that you got the win back against Rowdy Beck. I had you winning the first fight as well by split decision. It was a close fight. It wasn't like a walkover for either one of you. You clearly won this last fight. You're still in her brain renting space. I think she's still just mad about it because she's a big girl. So like you said, you've been fighting all these girls fighting bigger, above your weight. So now you get to fight for the strawweight championship. September 10th, BKFC 29 in Great Falls, Montana, which is a beautiful place to go have a fight. You're taking on Fanny Palompi. And she seems like a really nice girl. I haven't seen too much from her, but from what I have seen, she seems like a nice girl. It doesn't seem to me like you're going to have to engage in the shit talk, smack talk, bullshit. Like you guys are just going to go into this as professionals and have some fun and try to beat each other up.
Oh, thank God. When can we go back to those days? I'm super happy for that. Yeah, no, she does. I've read about her. She seems so nice and like a stand-up person. I think that me and her sound like, even though we're worlds apart, we're kind of alike. She left her home to go further her career and better her craft. So she was from Greece and went over to Thailand. So I can definitely resonate with that, and it also is eye-opening because I feel like anybody who's willing to do that is a dangerous person because not everybody has that courage and that leap, so to speak, to go somewhere new to follow your dreams. So I really think that I'm keeping that in the back of my mind, but I think at the end of the day we're going to be two very energetic, strong-willed people that are in there. It's going to make a great fight for everybody, but as we all know, there's only one queen.
There's only one queen. There can be only one queen. So have you seen footage of this girl? I went and tried to find some footage and I saw some of her fighting and she's good. This is, it's hard for people over here that are used to seeing, the version of BKFC that we see on a regular basis. And maybe they haven't seen this girl fight overseas yet. And they haven't had a lot of exposure to it, but I've checked her out. This girl is a good fighter. And I know you, when I say that, I'm not saying that to you that you're better trained because you are a training machine. You don't take any fight lightly. You take it all serious. This is your livelihood. This is your lifestyle. This is what you do. But have you seen any of the footage? And is there anything that worries you about this girl?
Yeah, when I was offered the fight, I literally was like you said, like, let's just get this right. Nobody likes me at the end of the day. Besides you and everything. Corporate level, nobody likes me. And that's fine. I'm okay, not the only thing, it's still not, I have the opportunity to, and it doesn't have to be like, naked pictures or anything like that. It could like literally just be appealing to your fans. But I don't have that. It's hard enough for me to keep up with simple stuff like this, so I don't even know how I would keep on with the online profiles. So hats off to those girls, but not this one. So, and I don't have 200,000 followers. I don't have 1 million followers. So, the girls I've been fighting and going up against have been having those numbers. So, it's just wild again when you read like when people say, oh, BKFC loves Britain. It's really not the case. They're actually really butthurt that I'm beating, these ex-UFC girls that have the name, the title. Just think of the thousands of dollars they're saving on marketing them instead of one of their homegrown girls. But I think that sometimes they can't like ignore it. And I really made some really good friends, friendships, because I just want to go out and put that out there. Like a lot of these fighters that are coming to BKFC, and I'm again not knocking it. I'm just saying there's a difference. They'll come in, have their headphones on, their hoodie, and they'll weigh in, they'll fight, they'll get their check, and they're out. They might say hi, but that's never been the case with me. Like, I really wish people would see that side of me, that when I get there for a fight, when I walk in, I'm going around the whole room saying hi to everybody, giving them hugs, catching up on everything. Um, I'm staying, till the whole thing ends, and I'm usually the last person out of the room. All these backstage people that don't get the credit, I'm asking about them and saying how much I appreciate them, like Kathy and Joe.
Oop. She disappeared. She'll be back in a second. I feel it. There you are.
There we are. Sorry, somebody called me. But anyways, I really try to be a good person. So I really love the aspect there with the friendship that I've genuinely made in BKFC. So again, going back to your original questions, what I thought about the girl, as I was like, no, this is like not happening. There's no way they would give me this girl that I don't recognize. And then I looked her up, and I literally had googly eyes. I was like, whoa, holy shit. You guys go look that fight up. It's a wonderful, amazing female fight. It's got everything. It's very technical. It's got the brawl in it. The other girl was really bringing the heat, and the other girl just had such amazing composure and combos. It was a really good fight. I can't believe being a student of the game, hadn't seen it yet. So wild. So it opened my eyes to this BKFC Thailand, and they have some serious talent out there. So it makes sense. This girl, I see why now. It's really good, and I'm happy it's true, but it's not too good to be true. So obviously, you see, now that I got that in my head, I'm like trying to train basically every second, every minute I can and feel able to, because this girl has mad cardio, mad strength, and mad skill. So I just have to make it matter.
I like that. We're going to make it matter for Britton Beltran, and she's going to go out there and do her thing. And I'm guessing you watched that on the BKFC app, BKTV app?
I sure did.
Yeah, for you guys out there that want to watch and see Fonny, go watch on the BKTV app. It's there. It's in the archives. So, go watch it. A strawweight title coming your way. Are you happy to be having this fight in Montana, or do you think it would have been a lot freaking cooler if they sent you over to Thailand and did you a show in Thailand?
Oh man, that's so crazy. I talked about it was Lorenzo. So I was talking to Lorenzo about this, and he was like, "Yo, yeah, that's a trip over to Thailand." I'm like, no, wait. Like, she's coming here. I'm not going to Thailand. He goes, "Yeah, well, when you beat her, you're gonna have to go to Thailand because they're gonna want to blah 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 and go into it." I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even think about that." It would be so, honestly, I really wanted to be on that London card. I'm very, very upset that I'm not on it, low key, but nobody's fault. But I wish so badly I was on it. Man, I'm like looking at it with envy on who's on the card and how they're hyping it up, and I just can't wait to watch it and it be passed, because I want to go there so bad. But no, Montana. I've been to Montana before. I've never fought in Montana, so I think it's going to be awesome. I have huge outdoor roots. And I had a minor in outdoor recreation, so like anything that goes with like backpacking. I went rainbow trout fishing is why I went to Montana a long time ago. But
Nice.
yeah, I really love things like that. So I'm excited to go out there and put another state on my resume that I fought in. I also think there's some sentimental with traveling something so far from Florida and from anywhere else, kind of being able to reach another part of the world that's, you don't really think of that often. And I think to see those people up there and like, I don't know, like meet them. There's Frankie at Blackheart Bait, that she's always been like super advocate and fan of mine, and she lives in Great Falls, Montana. So to see her and friends and people, like what that neck of the woods is like, and hopefully get a better, stronger Montana following would be, I think, really awesome, and kind of something I'm shooting for.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned BKFC London, because I thought that we might get to see you on BKFC London. However, you don't. But, maybe what you need to do is reach out to Mr. Feldman and say, "Hey, David, you bring in fighters all the time. as guest fighters to show the solidarity in the promotion. I've been with you a long time, bro. How's
Yeah,
about a trip from me and Joey to London?
I wish they'd have to like me for that.
Ah,
Nah,
Britain, if they didn't like you, you wouldn't be getting this title shot.
yeah, I know. I'm just
I
kidding.
mean,
Actually,
I know you're kidding, but I just got to say it
yeah,
because I don't want people to think that you really believe that. Because I know if they didn't like you, you wouldn't be getting the opportunity you've gotten over the years with them. So even if you sometimes might be a pain in their butt, which you could be, I mean, but whatever, it's part of the fight game. So I'm excited for you. I'm really excited for this chapter of your life. I think it's awesome that you're going to get the fight closer to your natural fight weight for the first time in a long time, and I'm excited to see the finished product of. Yep, people down here even commenting Britain good needs to go to London. So
yeah. I
send
wish.
Britain to London. Hashtag
It
that
just makes
shit.
it just makes sense. I mean, I hashtag make Britain great all the time because of one myself, and that's a very popular hashtag over in London.
I mean, your
But
name is Britain. I mean, what the
yeah,
hell?
I totally moved to New Britain, Connecticut for 4 months just because the name was New Britain. So shout out New Britain, Connecticut, because I
Woo!
only went there because you have my name in it.
Yeah, I think they can make a whole series. Like they can do a little documentary of you for BKFC. You're Britain in Britain. I mean,
Yeah.
it just makes sense.
I'm so with it. I love it.
Evan Zentar, get the camera out, bro. It's time to film Britain in Britain. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking the time with us today. I got my next guest waiting. I'm sorry that you didn't get on time, but I'm glad you did get on when you got on because, like I said, there was technical difficulties, and I would have been embarrassed to have you on during that part of the show. Um, give your hubby a big hug from me. Oh,
I
wait,
will.
there is a question I wanted to ask you. That one of the viewers.
Oh, damn. Oh,
How's your
that guy.
how's the married life, girl? How's the married life? We'll close on that question.
Oh yeah, no, it's still amazing. I really think about it every day. We like every day goes by. I think one of us tells each other how lucky we are and how in love and how we couldn't see our futures any other way. And so it really is just a way of like a lifestyle. So for me and Joey, like every day, I couldn't imagine it being anything different, you know? So when they say lifestyle changes, truly is what me and Joey have
It's
done,
awesome.
and we love it. And that he's been really great. He's really been taking care of me. I really couldn't think of anything that I could say that our marriage needs to work on. We're pretty great.
That's awesome. And it's crazy because it really all came together for you guys so quickly. But sometimes the quick things work out the best. And, um, the cool thing is you didn't know everything about each other. So every day is a learning process, and I think that's the coolest part of y'all's relationship, other than the fact that you both like to beat people up and not go to jail for it. I mean, it's
And
fucking win win. So listen, you and your hubby have a great rest of your night. I will be, of course, watching your fight. It's Britain Beltran taking on. I got a Fanny Palumpe, September 10th in BKFC 29 in Great Falls, Montana. Get the app. And who knows, you might not be watching it on the app. There's a new TV deal coming. We don't know where the broadcast deal is going to take them. And we're going to find out. So it might be on the app. It could be on Fox Sports. It could be on ESPN. We don't fucking know. But David Feldman's going to let us know soon enough, I'm sure. There'll be a code out there. Britton, what's the code they give you for pay-per-view? Because it's usually the same thing, right?
yeah, it's just like they did say something. Now that you think about it, they have a new guy who's doing this affiliate program that really is supposed to help the fighters. So I'm really excited. He seemed pretty excited about it, but I wonder if that's kind of like goes hand in hand. Anyways, I never got the link though, so
All
I'll
right.
have
Well,
to
if
follow
you
up.
get the link, go back on Facebook and comment it in here, so the followers and fans that love to support you can support you that way as well. You guys have a great night. I know you're probably going to get a meal in. You probably just finished working out, so it's time to get some nutrition. Go get that nutrition,
Whew.
girl.
All right, thanks so much, Chris. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you guys September 10th.
All right. Peace out. Boys
Bye.
and girls, that's Britton Beltran. She's stepping on out. We're going to roll right into our next guest. I'm sitting here looking at my next guest. He's in the green room right now, and he's got the headphones on. He's got the smile on. He looks like he's an anchor on fucking Sports Center. He's all clean shaven. He looks like he should be doing what I'm doing. And, it's never too late to learn a new skill, a new thing. So we're going to see how he is on the microphone. He last time I tried to stick a microphone in his face, Josh Mayo got in his way. So we're going to get him unfiltered, unfettered, uninterrupted. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is right now, the reigning Island Fights interim featherweight champion, the one and only Daniel Riveron.
Hey, how are you, Chris?
What's up, homie? You look so clean and good. Like I feel like I'm in the studio. All right, Daniel, what's going on down there now?
Yeah, man, just finished training over here at Kill Cliff FC. Just finished some kickboxing, getting ready to whoop Josh Mayo whenever the time comes.
Well, he's picking out a date. For you guys that don't know, Daniel Riveron just won the interim featherweight championship at Island Fights 73 in Pensacola. I know. I was there. I was the ring announcer. Got to do a little post-fight interview. The post-fight interview got interrupted by a WWE promo by Josh Mayo. And whether you love him or you hate him, he does entertain the crowds.
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting. It's kind of fun. Apparently, I found out after the interview that they had planned this out, that whoever won, he was coming out to get in your face, but they didn't tell me. So it looked great that my reaction, because my reaction was as real. I'm like going, Mike, hey, you saw me. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
He pulled Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, they pulled it off good. Now, you trained down there with a bunch of killers at Kill Cliff FC. And that's awesome because it's the best way to learn is to go swim in the shark and the pool with the big sharks and rather than the guppies. And there's definitely not a shortage of sharks where you are training on a regular basis. But before we get into the training and all that stuff, congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
So tell us how it felt, because this is, if I'm correct, you're 4-1 now. This is your first piece of championship that you've had in your fighting career. I know it's an amateur championship, but championship is a championship. So how did that truly feel now that you've had a little bit of time to soak it in and go, I did it?
I mean, honestly, it was a bit surreal, like in the moment, like, to be honest, it happened a bit like I couldn't even tell that it was happening, like it happened a bit easier than I expected it to. Things just kind of fell into place, like I went in expecting a war, and I mean, I don't want to say I got lucky, but the dominoes just fell my way, I got a triangle, which just kind of just fell into my lap pretty much, and I don't know, I felt really happy, and obviously, like, as the time passed, the more I realized, like, wow, that was a tough piece of competition. George Pirat is a very, very talented fighter, and it's great to be able to beat a guy like that in fashion, which I do.
Yeah, and now waiting for you. Apparently, it looks like he's going to be ready to go September 23rd for Island Fight 74, Pensacola Bay Center. He posted something on Facebook. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I did see his. He tagged me in his post. It was pretty hilarious. I mean, he's Conor McGregor wannabe, but it is what it is, like, at the end of the day, if he's Conor McGregor, I'll have to be Khabib, just let's talk now, buddy. And I mean, I'm ready for a scrap, like, I know he's a tough kid and I know he knows how to fight, but I don't think he's ever faced a puzzle like me,
Yeah, for you guys out there that didn't see the post from Josh Mayo, he wrote this on his Instagram and on his Facebook. Josh Mayo is at your mom's house. And he says he's training and how it's going training. D Riveron ready to wrestle these big Irish balls on his head. Our upcoming scrap September 23rd. Tell your mom I like my steaks rare for the after party.
He's a clown.
It's funny because, like, he brings your mom into it, but he doesn't say anything like fucking like fucked up disrespectful. Like, he just wants your mom to make a mistake for the after party. And like even you laughed a little because you're like, No,
I mean, it's hilarious, like he thinks that he really does think he's Conor McGregor, saying I'm gonna wrestle these big Irish balls. He couldn't even come up with something a little more original. I mean, he's a funny kid, like, but a fight is a fight. This ain't WWE,
No, it's definitely not WWE. You guys are going to punch each other in the face for real. So now that you've gotten that belt, with the belt comes things like this, interviews with people, and people want to talk to you a little more, and getting your name out there. You're on a big card. Like Island Fights is a big promotion as far as amateurs go. We've done pro shows on UFC Fight Pass. And we've sent a lot of guys from Island Fights that started with us as amateurs to the UFC, to PFL, to Bellator. We get shit done. We have a good thing going up there in Pensacola. We're honored to have you be part of our championship lineage. But has anything been different? In the gym, did anybody give you a little prop or a little dap, or did they just go get back to work, Riveron?
I mean, yeah, obviously, like nobody needs to be more of a disciplinarian on myself than myself. Like I try my hardest to always be the hardest worker in the room, and obviously, like with the amount of champions that there are here, it really isn't. It isn't a big deal to win an amateur belt, But
it is.
I'm happy with it though, and I know that it's the beginning of a big thing, and as long as I keep my head down and work, I know that the results will come. So,
speaking of getting down and being a disciplinarian on yourself and looking at work and the results will come, let's backtrack a little bit. What made you want to be a fighter in the first place, dude?
Well, I've always wanted to be an athlete, like when I was a kid, I started off doing karate. Like my dad put me in karate. I was actually a national runner-up in point fighting in karate.
At what age?
Around 13, I believe.
God damn.
And after that, I actually stopped combat sports. I played soccer for like 5-6 years, and actually won states with my high school. So I wasn't too bad at soccer, And then when I was 18, and I went up to the University of Florida for college, and I don't know, soccer wasn't a thing anymore because the University of Florida doesn't have a soccer team.
Oh.
And I got into boxing and jiu-jitsu, and honestly, I fell in love with it, like especially the jiu-jitsu aspect of it. Like I really do love grappling, but recently, like in the last year or two, I started MMA last January. Like that was my first amateur bout, and I've really fallen in love with the striking aspect of it too. Like I just want to be a complete martial artist, like it's true karate is to be just like a complete martial artist.
Well, you're definitely doing your thing there, and I would figure with your soccer background, I would see more kicks from you. I've seen you a couple times now up close, and you throw a little bit here and there, but where are those fucking soccer kicks, bro? You should be fucking dudes up.
I mean, nobody's seen anything yet, like my fights have ended real quick, and I obviously have a lot more techniques that I haven't been able to show, but we'll see who can draw it out of me,
Yeah. So Mayo, definitely a guy that's going to try to draw out the best fighter in you, because despite all those antics, he's somebody you have to 100% take serious. If you don't, you'll end up on the losing end of that fight, and nobody wants to do that. I know you want to walk out with his belt and your belt in tow on September 23rd, if that's going to be the official booking. Like I said, he posted about it. He was injured. He was supposed to actually be fighting on the last card, but he didn't, so you stepped in. Yep. Which was awesome. You filled in for him, and now you have part of that title. It's yours.
Now he can't run anymore.
Well, was he running before?
I don't know if he was running, but like the Brock Weaver had told me that we were gonna get that fight done for this event, and then like I was in the middle of fight camp, and all of a sudden they told me I didn't have an opponent, and it wasn't until 12 days out that they were able to find me. Josh Mayo pulled out, and I was able to fill in for him, but because nobody else was taking the fight, and a lot of respect to George Pierrot again. Like he didn't have to take a short notice fight when he was prepping for a different fighter, but in my defense, it was also a short notice fight for me, like it wasn't like it was just him who took a short notice fight.
Yeah, it's funny that you even brought that up because a lot of times, we hear guys, going, well, I took the fight on short notice. Well, so did your opponent, bro. It's not like you're the only one, but they always
Yeah,
try to spin that, especially if you lose in a short notice fight. Fighter A was already booked. His opponent fell out. So fighter C jumps in for fighter B. Everybody's going, oh, well, fighter B taking this fight on short notice. Well, what about fighter fucking A taking this fight on short notice? See, that's
exactly.
why I like you, Daniel, because you're young in your career and you already figured out some important stuff like that. There's pros out there that don't look at they just go, no, I was the one that took a short notice fight. Well, yeah, but so did he. Just because he was training for somebody doesn't mean that you're not a short notice fight. Daniel Riveron wins the internet today. Fuck you guys.
No, but I mean, no disrespect, to
I
George
know.
Pirai. He is a very good opponent, and I honestly I agree with him when he said that we were fighting for the real belt that night. I think either one of us probably would have taken Josh Mayo that night.
Yeah, and even though you agree with him, your agreement would be wrong. That Josh Mayo is the official. He's the champ.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
know
Yeah.
you want to agree with
On a
George, but
technicality.
he won. He was the guy that had the belt. I mean, they booked you in there as an interim champion fight because they booked you on short notice. We typically, especially in amateurs, dude. I mean, you don't have interim champions in amateur fights. You don't really see interim champions, So this was the importance of this fight was significant for whoever won between you and George, because Josh is legitimately that 145-pound champion. But they didn't want to just move past him because they believe he's good. He checks the boxes. He can fight. He can
Yeah,
talk. He can entertain. We've all seen it already. I've seen it a few times with him. He cracks me up. Like when I introduce him, like he wants me right up in his face, and we're back. We're like this. Like he just gets into it. He's like egging me on, and I start laughing sometimes while I'm doing his intro because he's just crazy like that. But he's so much fun to be around, and like I said, at the end of the day, all the antics, push those aside. He's definitely somebody that you have to, be prepared to contend with because he's going to be prepared to contend with everything you bring. I personally think this matchup is a dream matchup for an amateur level fight. And I believe that whoever wins or loses, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the amateur fights are important to get your ring time in or get your cage time in. And island fights, it's ring time. But get that time in to hone your craft and skill. So when you go to the pros and you get to the big shows, you're able to stay there. And I personally think if Josh stays on his path and goes pro, he said, because he told me on an interview, he's going to take his time to get there. He's not in a rush because he wants to make sure that when he gets there, he can stay there. I'm sure you have that same mentality. So I have a feeling this is a fight we might see 2 or 3 times along the way in your guys' respective careers. Maybe at a regional pro show and then maybe on a big pro show. I mean,
maybe
this
so.
could be a rivalry that could be so much fucking fun.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a teammate here, Garrett Armfield, who just debuted in the UFC. Who he fought against. His UFC debut was against the fighter that he fought in the amateur leagues.
It's crazy, right?
So yeah, man. I mean,
you guys could be building toward a huge future rivalry, and it could be brought up,
absolutely.
later down the road. I remember when I fought Riveron and I beat him up, and I remember when I fought fucking Mayo and I beat his ass, and it just this could be the beginning of a beautiful love story in the fight game. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be a clean sweep, is what it's gonna be.
Ooh, you all heard that there. Daniel Riveron predicting the clean sweep. Is there anything you think he can do to stop you?
Look, Josh Mayo's got very solid boxing, and he's got a solid ground game in the sense that he can defend himself off his back, and he's got solid sweeps. But I was there when he fought Sebastian Grant, and I know he's going to be prepping for. I guess he thinks I'm a wrestler, but like I said, you haven't seen anything yet. Like I'm just doing what I got to do to fight to win my fights as fast as possible, and because I'm not there to get paid by the hour, even though I'm not getting paid yet. But I'm not getting paid by the hour. I'm there to go in and get out. Like I want to take the least amount of damage possible, and nobody's really seen anything yet. When I'm on my game, there's nobody that can stop me.
I love the confidence of somebody who is still young at this. You said you started MMA officially 2 years ago? I mean,
Yeah, about a year and a half, actually.
a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So you're really just getting your feet wet and you're unwrapping something that, none of us have seen, including yourself. You don't even know what you're truly capable of at this point, And I think I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's fucking awesome. I think it's cool that, we're going to see your game develop, and we're going to see it develop, at a high profile amateur platform with Island Fights. And I get to be front row for that shit. That's awesome to me.
Yeah, you
We'll
got
watch
the
you
best seat
turn.
in the house.
We're going to watch you turn into like a great fighter. We're going to watch you turn into a great analyst. You got to look for it, dude. So, what do you think? Do you think you could talk about fights? Like, could you sit there and do commentary on a fight?
Hey, I mean, I can analyze a fight and I can analyze a soccer game. Like I can do it all. I can be on Sports Center.
There you go, man. Like I said, you got the good look for it. The earphones look good on your hand. I mean, everything's good. The hair, you got like an ESPN haircut. I mean, you're just all hooked up, dude. It'd be fucking awesome. What does your family think of you being a fighter? I know you said, your dad, got you into karate years and years ago, but now that you're doing this and, you've foregone college at, Florida, the University of Florida, to really dedicate your life to this sport, because I know you're not in school right now, correct?
I'm technically enrolled at the University of Miami. But
does that mean you're going to go, or you're just going to sit back and train to beat people up instead?
It means I'm doing it on the side, like I've got my
Okay.
priority is definitely this, but I don't want to like not be educated, because even there's a lot of professional athletes that make a lot of money and then they just, due to like ignorance, they're not able to maintain that high net worth, and my goal is to get like financial liberty,
Yeah. So are you at B Dubs right now?
Where?
Buffalo Wild Wings or something?
No, I'm at Sanford MMA.
You're at Sanford MMA?
Yeah, I'm in the lobby at Barless.
Okay. I haven't been in there. You're not at Sanford MMA. Where are you?
Killcliff FC. The sign is still outside.
That's all right, man. You got to say it the right way. I'm sitting there looking, because I'm looking at the wood on the walls. I see some jerseys up top behind you. I see the TVs, and I thought like, man, we're in a sports bar right now, and he's just chilling out. And I see the dude sitting behind you with the Jaws T-shirt on, and I'm going, "Where's the food? Are they bringing food? Somebody bringing this guy some food back here?"
Yeah, you see all the
I've seen people walking by, but that's the first guy I've noticed in his gi. So everybody else just looked like they were walking like to find the pisser or something. That's so I tell you, we're at the sports, and there's nothing wrong with being at the sports bar. I just thought that's where you were, because it's got such a nice look there. I'm gonna have to come down and check that place out live for myself one day.
Absolutely.
Come see you. Come see my dude Impa.
Yeah,
I love Impa. He's
a great dude.
Impa's a cool motherfucker, man.
Yes,
like
sir.
smooth. Yes, got that big win at XMMA 5 or 6 a couple weeks ago. Woo!
He's back on route to get back into the UFC.
Yeah, because he fought for us at Island Fights on Fight Pass. I think twice, maybe twice. Yeah, I think twice. It was funny the first time he tried to tell me his name, and I had to get it fucking right, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then he told me his nickname, Chilobo, but he spelled it weird, and I was like, this is fucked up. I'm just going to write Chee Lobo, because I got to say it right. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what it looks like on my fight card, because you can't see my fight card. Only I could see the fight card. So, I write all my shit down, and then this is what you guys see. And then it's gone. Magic. Just disappeared.
Talking about that, why didn't you say my fight nickname?
You didn't give it to me.
I did give it to you. I gave it to you on when we weighed in.
Nope.
The Last Samurai. I saw you write it down.
No, you didn't give it to me. I promise. I'll say it on your next one.
All right.
But you didn't give it to me, and I can go out in the other room and get my file of cards, because I have all the cards. I don't throw them away, so I can pull it out and go. And I'll go, Riveron, you're lying.
All right.
I mean, as you see, I keep them like right next to me sometimes. This is Game Bred Boxing Action and Biloxi card I did a little while back. Nice. I'm going to do Game Bred Boxing 2 in Biloxi on August 20th. We're going to have some good fun. What about that? Are you going to maybe take some amateur boxing matches along the way? Just to specifically work on your boxing skill, or do you feel better just flowing as an MMA striker?
Boxing on its own, even though I'm a big fan of boxing as a sport, I don't know if I would rather do boxing bouts or kickboxing bouts, because
You
I
can do
feel
both.
like, yeah, maybe I will do both.
At Island Fights, we can provide you an opportunity to do both.
Nice.
Just saying.
I mean, but also like I don't know. MMA is MMA. You got to be able to mix it up. Even though like those individual skills are like essential, it's
Right.
all about who can mix it up the best. It's like my favorite fighter, George St. Pierre. Like you can't say that George St. Pierre was a boxer to the caliber of most professional boxers, but
No.
he was. Whenever somebody was better than him in the striking, he would switch it to wrestling, and then he was a better wrestler than them. Whenever somebody was a better wrestler than him, he would fucking stay on the feet.
Well, that's one of the things I really admired about him. He was so clever in planning for his opponents that if you were a wrestler, because it kind of contradicts a little bit of what you just said, but if you were a wrestler primarily, then he was going to beat you at your own game. If you were a striker, he was going to beat you at striking. If you were a kickboxer, if you were a Muay Thai specialist, whatever you did that separated you from the crowd to get you into a fight with him, he took it and used it against you. John Jones has also been an expert at doing that same kind of thing, like really taking away what you do best and then beating you with what you do best.
Yeah, because it's MMA. You can't go into an MMA match expecting to just box, because it would be dumb from your opponent to just allow you to do what you're the best at. It's all about mixing it up. It's not mixed martial arts for no reason.
No, I know why they call it mixed martial arts. I've been doing this for a couple of weeks anyway, so I've got an idea. But it's awesome to see that the confidence, and it's great to listen to you show some of your fight IQ again. Being so young in the sport, you come across as somebody that isn't young in the sport. Like I really respect the fact that you've disciplined yourself, and I guess, from doing karate over the years and having that discipline, and then of course playing soccer and having that discipline, it almost makes natural sense that you're so disciplined now, but there's a lot to learn as you continue to climb the ladder of mixed martial arts, because, obviously we've established that it's mixed because, you're going to do boxing and kickboxing, Muay Thai, karate, Taekwondo, judo. There's so many things, Sambo, that you can incorporate into this. And create your own beautiful blend of fighting. And it seems like you're well on the right track to get that done. And that makes me happy, dude, because I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to get a good front row seat to watch a lot of your development. And I'm going to sit back and be like, yeah, that's my dude right there. And that's what I like to have. I love to watch the growth. I love to watch the experience amass on some guys, and then watch them, achieve dreams, and in some small way, in some small way, I get to be on the journey with you. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And there's guys like Mike Perry and Alex Nicholson and Hannah Goldie and Scott Holtzman. And there's so many others that I've, Nick Newell, that I've had the honor and pleasure, Chris Curtis, Impa, to introduce and announce different fights at different levels and stages of their career. And, I always have a special affinity for those guys, the ones that, even if they don't win, I still feel like I got to be part of this with them, and that's pretty fucking cool. And I didn't have to get beat up to do it, and that's even better.
Yeah, but there's something about going in there that's just, it's really like, I don't want to say I'm an adrenaline junkie, but I'm definitely an adrenaline junkie. And but I do it because it's so primal to go in there and just fight, one-on-one, man-to-man, and just who's the better fighter. And
so
yeah.
So, you do the karate, you're obviously, karate is more of a striking based sport than wrestling or jujitsu or some of the other disciplines of mixed martial arts. What about bare knuckle? What do you think of bare knuckle, dude?
Bare knuckle is a tough sport. Like I have a lot of respect for the guys that do bare knuckle. In fact, one of my boxing coaches fights in BKFC, Lionel Carrera.
Okay.
He had his debut like a few months ago. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for those guys. I don't think I would personally do it, but I do have a lot of respect for those guys. I'm pretty impressed with Masvidal's bare knuckle MMA promotion. I kind of like that.
Would you do that?
That definitely would be more up my alley than bare knuckle boxing.
All right, Dean Toole, if you're watching, because sometimes Dean watches these shows if he's not super busy, lining up fight cards across the goddamn globe, because that's what he do. But Dean, if you're watching, Riveron might be interested in doing some bare knuckle MMA when he goes pro, So let's just keep that on the back burner, because that could be a whole lot of freaking fun. So Daniel, you're a fighter, right?
Yep.
You're not afraid to take a challenge, right?
Definitely not.
Nothing scares you, right? All right.
No,
Well,
and I mean, things definitely scare me, but when they scare me is when I do them,
Okay, well, that's perfect, because
that's part of being a fighter.
You're the first time guest on the show. My dude down here, he's in the green room. My next guest is sitting there waiting. So I did this to him too. I've done it to everybody the first time on the show. First time on the show, I always ask my guests to do something a little fucking weird, a little different, a little crazy, out of character for them. And I asked them to sing for me. So, and I don't care what you sing, but you have to sing something, because if you don't, you'll be the first out of 395 or 495 guests to say no, and that would just make you a big pussy.
It suddenly got very packed in here, and you're going to make me do this.
Goddamn right, dude. Step it up, bro. They do it at football camps. You can do it. Sing us something. It don't have to be a whole song. Just give us a little something, something.
All right. Let's see. What song do I know? All right. Sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum.
Good time never felt so. Come on, you gotta sing, bro.
I don't even know the lyrics.
So good. All right, that's good enough, dude. I'll give you credit for trying that, man. That was funny. You made my dude Cody smile a little bit, and that's a tough thing to do. So, but listen, thank you for taking the time to join us today on KSR Christopher James. Congratulations on winning that interim belt at Island Fights. We will see you, I think, on September 23rd at Island Fight 74 to unify the belt with you and Josh Mayo. I hope you have a great night, a blessed day tomorrow, and, keep smiling, brother.
Thank you so much for having me on, Chris.
All right, we'll see you again soon, brother, and work on your ESPN skills, dude. You already got the haircut. You're ready to roll.
All right. Take it easy, man.
All right, be good, bro. All right, that was my man Daniel Riveron training out at Kill Cliff FC, formerly Sanford MMA. He's our interim featherweight champion at Island Fights, and we're gonna jump right into my next guest because he is on time and ready to go. I love this guy's attitude. I love his personality. I love his style, and I'm looking at him right now, and his beard is looking sexy too. We're going to bring him in for you, boys and girls, the man himself, Cody Durden.
What up?
What's up, bro? Good to see you, man.
Man, I tried to get some headphones, and I bought some that didn't fucking work. So I just had a busy day, man, and I tried, And
hey, and I told you, don't worry about it. As long as we don't talk at the same time, we should have no problem with the headphone thing. I figured out that's the workaround when somebody doesn't have any. So we are good. So first of all, aside from all the work today, how you doing, man?
Good. Living the dream down here, improving, trying to get better, and trying to damn climb the rankings.
Yeah, man. So you're down in Coconut Creek now, correct?
I am. I'm down here for. I came down for 3 weeks, and then I'll go home for a little while, and then hopefully we have some fight news by then.
Hopefully. How has it been? Because I know this isn't your first time down there for the 3-week period. How has it been, living in the dorms and doing your thing down there and being away from your family? Because I know your family is right here in your heart with you, like big time. You're one of those guys. So how hard is it for you to be away?
It comes and goes. It's up and down. But at the same time, I know I'm making the right decision by getting out of my comfort zone, coming down for a few weeks, and then going back and just trying to improve, trying to grow,
Yeah, and that's one of the things I think I like about you the most, Cody, is that you are unafraid to put in the work. There's some guys that say they put in all the work, and then there's guys that get up and leave their home behind, and they really go put in all the work because there's no distraction around you. I mean, you're living in the gym, if I'm correct, and so it's wake up, you're in the gym, go upstairs, take a poop, you're still in the gym. You go eat food, you're still in the gym. This is really showing the level of commitment and the maturity that you have in your life right now to be on the biggest journey in your professional career. And I admire the shit out of that because not everybody would do what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's my job, and I want to keep my job. So I have to do the things necessary outside of being in the cage to stay in the promotion.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. And when you do the right things in the gym to stay in the promotion, because um, the history shows it's easier to get to the UFC than to get back into the UFC. You can get there and have a couple fights here and there, and go away with a 500 record, and we might not ever see you again in the UFC. So it's better to just stay there and not have to worry about that. You're coming off a huge win. By the way, we haven't talked in a minute. You got busy after show. I got busy after your last fight, but I wanted to get you on. And my boy Forrest Daniels was like, "Get him on the show, get him on the show," and because he loves you to death. But you took home a big win, a first round finish of JP Buys, man. How good did it feel to get back on the winning side after the previous fight didn't go your way?
It was definitely deserving. I did 2 fight camps already this year. Time away from the family, and then this past fight before I fought JP Baz, I was down here for 6 weeks, and it paid off. I know I'm making the right decisions. So yeah, I'm ready to get another one. Ready to get another one lined up.
Do they have anybody in mind? Have they been talking to you yet at all, or are you just kind of sitting back and just continue to work and wait for the phone call?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I haven't heard much. I'm just waiting on the phone call.
So take us through that fight with JP, dude. It wasn't a long fight, but a lot happened in that fight for you anyway. I mean, so take us through your recollection of the fight, because I would like to hear a fighter, a week or two after, because I'm sure you've watched the fight back. Just to see your handiwork in action. So take us through that fight from your eyes, from what we can't ever see because we're not you.
Well, I mean, basically, I just made the decision that I was going to die, and there wasn't going to be any tapping, and I was going in there, kill or be killed, and that's how I usually fight. After the Gutierrez fight, I tried to pull back a little bit, and that's just not how I fight. I got, I think, 9 first round finishes. I think it is, or 8, something like that. And I'm a go getter. So, yeah, man, I just wanted it more. Just I put in so much work and so much time away from my family, and it's got to pay off, and it has to pay off on that one night.
And you were right. You have 9 first round finishes. I just looked up the numbers. Yeah, I mean, you're not getting paid by the hour to do this, so why sitting there and go for 15 minutes when you can get done in 2, right?
Exactly, or 1.
Or 1, yeah. I mean, what was the time in that last fight? It was like 1:30 or something like that. It was 1:08 actually. It was not even 1:30. So a minute of 8 seconds of work. You go in there, you get paid, you get in, you get out, you come out clean, and I think that's probably the best part about it for you, because you sustained 0 damage in that fight. So you could have fought again the next week. Obviously, making a weight cut again a week later sucks a little fucking ass. But if the right opportunity presented itself, you're ready to go after fight night. So I think that's an advantage for you.
Yeah, most definitely. But at the same time, I've been grinding for 6 months straight, going on 7 months, and I just needed a vacation. I just needed a little break, So I took about 2 weeks off and just did what I wanted to do. Had some beer, went on vacation, rode jet skis, went fishing, and
Yep.
had a good time, But now it's getting back to work, and I love it. This is what I love to do. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm just like, man, I need to be doing something. And my wife's always telling me it'll be all right. Don't worry. Go ahead. It's just when I'm in the gym, and it's just when I'm the happiest. I think
Yeah.
when I have a structure and a schedule, and I know what I'm going to be doing throughout the week. I feel like it just works out better for me.
Has that been your way your whole life? Have you always need to have structure and some discipline over you, with your parents and everything? Were you kind of a little hellcat growing up if you didn't have something to do?
I was, and then I got into wrestling in high school, and it really stopped me from getting in trouble so much. I was getting in fights at school a lot, and I was just a hellion, an immature kid. And when the principal started taking away the wrestling from me on the weekend, like, oh, you're not wrestling in this tournament, that hurt worse than ISS or being suspended and all that, So I had to straighten it up.
Yeah, wrestling, that'll learn you. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
to be a wrestler at any stage in your life, they say, and I agree with. I think wrestling is the most important base in MMA. I think it can do so much to dictate the course and the action of a fight, and it's because of the discipline that's required to be a wrestler. I mean, when you're grappling as a jujitsu guy, I mean, it's not the same thing. And I'm not discounting jujitsu. Jujitsu is an amazing skill, and if you don't have any jujitsu and all you guys wrestling, you'll go so far, but you're not going to go as far as you could. You need to have both, um, but you can get away with more as a wrestler than you could as just a straight Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner, in my book.
I think overall it's more of a grind. You have to work for everything in wrestling. You got to work for that takedown. You got to work for the reversal. You got to work to get the escape. Rather than jujitsu guys sit on their butt, they'll pull guard, and it's kind of a rest thing. As for wrestling, there's stalling calls, and you have to work for every single thing. And that's why they say, hey, it's the grind, the wrestling grind.
Yeah, I know it won't ever happen, but I would love to see an MMA fight, even especially in the UFC, just at least once, where the wrestlers start on the ground. You're on the overtop position on the guy, and fucking let's just see what the fuck happens. I mean, if there are two guys that know wrestling, I would want to see that. I don't know if anybody else would. I would like to see a fight start from the ground and then, see if the two guys can work into the feet if they choose to. But that's just me. What about you? You think that would be an interesting thing to do inside an MMA fight, or fuck that? I want to start on the feet and try to knock you the fuck out.
Yeah, man. I like throwing punches.
You do, and it's funny that you have a wrestling base and you've fallen in love with the striking. And I think that comes from a level of confidence in knowing that your wrestling can get you out of trouble. Would I be correct?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to get taken down. I've been taken down by the best guys, world champions, and I can get to my feet, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, no, I know. Like I said, I've watched you fight. I've seen you for a long time now. This will be, well. Let's see. You're 2-2-1 in the UFC, so this will be fight number 5 or fight number 6 coming up for you. How many more fights do you have on your contract?
I'm 3-2.
3-2.
Yeah, when you get a 6-day notice against Chris Gutierrez and you get a draw, then you count that as a win.
Okay, all right. Fuck me, he's 3-2.
Up a weight class, is that not a win, bro?
That's a win, dude. Listen,
I'll take it.
You know what? It's a win just because you showed up for that fight and you fought your ass off that night on short notice, up a weight class, and you still, like, fuck it, there's my foot in the door. So, but how many more fights do you have on your contract? I'm guessing you're on your second contract.
Right, I am. I have 2 fights left on my contract.
So the importance of winning is probably never been more paramount right now. You need to win these next 2, no matter who they give you, right?
Yeah, well, realistically, I win the next one and renegotiate my contract and go into another 4-fight contract.
That's the way. And who? people out here are asking on the comment thread. They want to know, who do you want next? Like who's the one that gets you excited to be your next fight?
Really it doesn't really matter, but I would like to fight Jeffrey Molina. I've said that many a times, and he's got a number by his name, and I'm trying to climb the ladder.
I hadn't thought about that matchup, and I know you've said it a couple times, but now that you just said it again, all of a sudden I'm seeing this exciting, fucking action-packed fight between you two guys, because you guys are both young, you're both hungry. Like you said, he's got a number next to his name, and he's not wanting to give that number up, and you don't have a number next to your name, and you want one.
Yeah, that's the goal, and I'm not discrediting him as a fighter. I think he's a great fighter. I just think, I'm a better fighter, and I would like that fight. But at the same time, I've had 5 fights in the UFC, and I don't pick the fights. The UFC picks them. Mick Maynard picks them, and I just fight, man.
But if you could pick one, so Jeffrey Molina would be the guy you would pick right now. If they said, Cody, who do you want next? We'll give him to you.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to fight him, but I'm here to fight anyone, though.
I really like that matchup, and it's okay because Forrest approves of that matchup, so we're good. We got to make sure we don't upset Forrest, man. He likes it. I'll tell you what, man. If I'm a fighter, like Forrest follows my pages, and all my stuff and supports the hell of it. If I'm a fighter, I love Forrest, because if Forrest likes you, Forrest supports you to the day you die. Forrest will support you in the good times and the bad times and the ups and the downs and the wins and the losses and everything. He's all in, and you've made his list of all-in fighters. He really, and one of my favorite things about MMA is we have a lot of access to fighters over a lot of other sports. Like, we don't have the same access with football players or baseball players, and you can try to do it, but it doesn't. But in MMA, there's a sense of community that extends from the fighters to the fan base, because I think the fighters really understand that the fans, really drive this sport. And, guys like yourself, guys like Nate Manis, who's dropping down to 125. He's coming down from 135. He wants to be a 125er. So that's kind of interesting.
I don't make the weight.
Huh?
I don't think he can make the weight.
He's going to make the weight, bro.
If he makes the weight, then be taxing on him big time.
Well,
he's a big dude. I'm a big dude, and I mean,
yeah.
I'm 145 pounds, and it's hell, and I know for sure that he's taller than me, thicker than me. So good luck to him,
Well, he went out to have some body chemistry testing done to see, and have it approved by the PI to see if he was able to even pursue this, because he wanted to do it, but he didn't want to do it the wrong way. So now he's on a new diet, new food program. His goal is to, and we were talking about today on social media, his goal is to walk around 143, 145. When he gets to fight week, be about 137. And then have that final water dump and everything else, and then fucking, make weight cleanly. We're going to see. But I agree with you. He's definitely bigger than you. And he's a little thicker, and, we're going to see. But for him, like yourself, I mean, like right now, you're about 145, you said, he's got to walk there, he's got to stay there. And that's, I don't think the cutting weight part will be the problem. I think the maintaining the proper weight to start a weight cut at is a problem for a guy that's his size, that's trying to come down a full weight class. And I know you understand that, because you're not the smallest guy either. Yeah.
I mean, it's okay to, you can try to maintain that, but what's your training going to look like? Yeah. I mean, we've seen in the past, Cody Garbrandt, who else? TJ Dillashaw. These guys, they can't perform at a weight class because of depleting their body too much. And even the first time you cut down to 25, because I fought 35 for 3 years, the first time you cut down to 25, you won't have your best performance. You feel brittle. You feel smaller. You're not as strong. You're not hitting these double leg takedowns and finishing everybody because you're missing weight. You're missing weight on your body when you're trying to, make it through practice at maintaining the weight. It's hard, but it can be done. Maybe he makes it, but you got to make it and you got to perform.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I'm glad, and I'm glad that you shared that experience with me because I honestly, I forgot that you fought at 135 before and you had to make the weight cut down to 125. So you've experienced exactly what he's about to put himself through. So you're speaking from a place of authority, and I'm glad. I'm glad you shared that with us, brother. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I never weighed. I think the most I weighed was 148. Eating what I wanted and not training how I was supposed to train. When I train and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I average from 143 to 145. So like tonight, I probably weigh about 144 after shoot. I think I trained. I had 3 sessions today, so and one hard session from 11:30 till about 1:10 today. So it was intense, but yeah, I mean, we'll see though.
Yeah. No, and for you, obviously, if you want to stay at the correct weight, you have to have the proper training regimen and the proper food intake. So, what's a normal day of meals like for Cody?
Well, when I'm in camp, I usually eat the icon meals, but when I'm not in camp, I like Chipotle or mainly steak and chicken, man. That's all I eat, mainly steak and chicken, eggs, but I'm pretty
Vegetables?
some vegetables, fruits too as well. Mainly fruits and vegetables in the morning though. Not vegetables, but mainly fruits.
That's awesome, man. You know, it's good to see you. Like I said, first of all, it's just good to see you. Fucking, I remember a long time ago you messaged me about getting on the show, and you hadn't been to the UFC yet, and I was really picky about putting guys on. I've since learned my lesson. Now I'm going to put guys on like the kid I just had on before you, amateur guys that are coming up because they deserve some space too. And I apologize to you for not getting you on sooner when you asked to be on because I should have been like, this dude wants to be on my show. What the fuck is wrong with me? Fucking. So I appreciate you even taking the time to come on my show because I didn't say yes the first time you asked about it because I'm a dick apparently. So I apologize for my dickiness. But it's good to see you. It's good to see you smiling, bro.
Yeah,
I don't. The only time I've seen you smiling on social media stuff is when you're with your family. And
yeah,
and that makes me happy because I know how important your family is to you. I know that it's hard to be away. So I'm glad that you took a vacation from fighting and from the fight game, and you spent a good couple of weeks with your family doing stuff because I think the best piece of advice anybody should give you and could give you or should give you is to make sure you take time to enjoy this ride. And part of that means hanging out with your family and enjoying some of the rewards of your success. You're a full-time fighter. You're making a career and a living being a professional fucking athlete. And sometimes you have to go, you know what? For 2 weeks, I'm going to just be Cody Durden. I'm not going to be Cody Durden UFC. I'm just going to be Cody Durden. I'm going to be this lady's husband. I'm going to be this kid's father, and I'm not going to be a fighter. And it's important to do that for yourself because it'll help you maintain a longer career. And I'm only saying this to you from what I've heard from other fighters that didn't take the time earlier in their career to enjoy some of the rewards. And I'm glad you're doing it now and you understand that.
right. I mean, I always overwork myself. I didn't get in the UFC until I was 29 years old, and dude, I worked my ass off full time. Getting up at 5 a.m., being at work at 6:30, getting off at 3. Going to the gym, and sometimes a lot of the times I had 12-hour shifts I had to work, and then I had to go to the gym afterwards. But yeah, man, I mean, I've had a full time job since I was 18. When the UFC called when I was 29, I was able to quit my job. And I don't know if you saw my post with all my check stubs that I saved over the years. It
I
was,
did.
man, sometimes I forget about, where I came from and how hard I worked to get here, because some people, you know, they get everything given to them and I wasn't given anything.
Yeah, no, you worked your ass off, man. There's, nobody could take away your UFC victories. Nobody could take away the fact that you worked for it. So, you're going to have haters out there that are going to talk shit. That's part of being a professional athlete, because some people just got nothing better to do than talk shit about people they have no idea about, because they don't like you, and they're going to, question your work ethic and everything else and question this and that. But it doesn't matter what anybody out there says. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what Forrest says. It doesn't matter what anybody else out there in the media says, because the man that knows the truth is sitting in front of you every day in the mirror, and that's Cody Durden.
Yeah, exactly.
And your family believes in you, and you believe in you. You don't need me to believe in you. You don't need anybody else to believe in you. You need yourself to believe in you and be confident that you're going to get done what you've done. And, the proof is in the pudding. Like you said, you worked your ass off, 12-hour days, going to the gym, work, and the next day, 12-hour day, go to the gym, eat, sleep, train, repeat, and then boom, you earned your way into the door of the UFC. You didn't get there by accident.
Hey, and another funny thing is 5 years of me working, I had to work 6 days, Monday through Saturday. So I didn't have 2 days off, still fighting. So, it's quite the journey and quite the story,
So what would be the most important thing to share with a young fighter like my last guest, Daniel Riveron, as he's coming up? He's 4-1 right now as an amateur. He trains down the street at or at Kill Cliff FC now, not Sanford MMA anymore. So you guys are in the same neighborhood, at least this week. But what do you say to a young fighter like that who's 4-1? He just won an amateur title. He was going to college. He wanted to play soccer in college, but the University of Florida doesn't have a soccer team anymore. So he decided to dedicate his life to MMA. What would you say to this kid on his way up?
You literally, they preach in school, write down your goals, your short term, your long term goals. And that's something that I've done for, years now. And I write my goals down, the short term goals, the long term goals, and I post it on the refrigerator, So that's big, even in my phone, I could show you in my notes. Every night I'd come back to the dorm room and I'd write, Cody Durden defeats JP Baez via second round TKO. And it was first round, but, I still made it happen. I probably have freaking 40 times that I wrote it in my phone. And, you just got to write down your goals and fuck your feelings, everybody doesn't feel, a lot of people don't feel like training in the evening on a Monday, that last session or twice a day. But there's athletes out here that, live in these dorms that freaking train every day for months, sometimes years. Kyoji Horiguchi, he stayed up here for 3 years. He's got the hall named after him. And you saw the success that he has because he sacrificed so much,
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. The sacrifice has to be made in order to achieve the dream. There's no, and that's the thing with the sport or any sport. There's no easy path. Some people think, oh, this guy plays baseball for a living, or this guy does fighting for a living, or this guy's a football player, and they only see Sundays and they only see game day. They don't see what these athletes go through in any sport. Even WWE guys. Some people think, oh, it's all fake, but you have to be in incredible athletic shape to perform, week after week after week in the WWE. You can't just be a slouch and fucking, eating pizza all day. You got to work, fucking. And the fans don't see that, and I don't think they sometimes appreciate it. I, for one, am fortunate to be in the position I'm in where I've watched fighters train and I've seen them and put in the hard work. I've sat in the gym with fighters talking to them because I needed to know. I needed to know more of what goes on for you guys to fully get a comprehensive understanding of, what it takes to be a fighter. And I'll still never know because I'm not going to train to be a fighter. and I don't want to be a fighter. I'm 53. My fighting days are long behind me. I like life now without getting punched in the face. And I never got paid to do it, so that shit sucked.
Well, hey, make sure you exercise a little bit. All right.
Yep. I do
exercise.
I do a little bit. I've had some heart issues. I had some back issues. The back thing is finally, after surgery, starting to clear up. Hopefully going to get clearance next week to be able to go take long walks and do a little cardio. Because I feel like a slob, because I was always active and now I'm not. And it's been years since I've been allowed to be active because of my car accidents and my heart attacks, and it's shitty, so I got to get back to doing something. So hopefully here in the next 2 weeks, the doctor is going to say, you good. And then I'm going to go start walking and playing disc golf again. And because that's a fun sport, and I get steps in while I do it, and some up here, and then we'll try some weight training later on down the road just to tighten a few things up.
Nice.
Got this belly going on down here. It's like a baby.
Yeah, I always said, when I get done fighting, I'm gonna be a pro golfer.
Yeah, you get fat.
You can drink all night and then you wake up the next morning and go play golf. It's not strenuous, and ride on the golf cart and enjoy the sun, drink beer while you do it. So
I worry about you playing golf, dude, because like you're a competitor and you don't like to lose, and you get angry and you get mad, and if somebody's beating you on the golf fucking course, man, you got a weapon in your hand now. I'm worried about you fucking somebody up.
I suck at golf, but I enjoy it. I'm horrible at it, but it's for fun though. So
yeah. Have you ever played disc golf?
I haven't. No, I would like to one day.
Disc golf is a lot of fun. You don't need, and the cool thing about it, like when you go out to play golf on the golf course, you want to have somebody to go out there and compete with. Even if you both suck or he's a lot better than you, it's just fun. And like you said, because I play golf, but I play golf, and I'm not good either, but I do it for fun, But disc golf is golf with frisbees. You throw it in the basket. You got, different courses, different kind of discs. You got a driver, a putter, a mid range, long range. There's all kinds of so your putters are your clubs, and or your discs are your clubs, and it's a lot of fun. It's very stress relieving, unless you throw one into the water, then you get aggravated. But it's something you could do by yourself, and there's some good disc courses down in the area where you're at right now, and I'm sure there's probably some up by where you live in Georgia. So it's something I recommend. Like Ben Askren plays the shit out of disc golf. He has a disc golf course in his backyard.
Yeah, I see that.
So try that out, dude. That's a good stress reliever. Because a lot of courses are wooded, so you're out in the woods, you're in nature, you're just, if you smoke weed, you bring a joint, you fucking blaze up. That's the culture, man. It's a good time. And the sport is now getting put on ESPN. It's become something that people are actually watching out there. So that could be your backup career.
Yeah, I'm not any good at disc golf though.
You haven't played it yet. You don't know.
I've threw a frisbee a few times. My buddy has all the frisbees, and he was showing me like, oh, use this for this, this short distance, or this is long distance.
Right.
So we play this game called Bottle Bash. You put the bottle on top of the pole, and you try to hit the bottle off the pole, and there's like a point system. If you hit it and he catches the bottle, then you don't get any points, but they got to catch the frisbee. And he's knocking my bottle off this pole the whole time, and I can't hit the damn bottle with the frisbee. It's just like, you ought to check it out. It's a pretty good game.
I will try that out, but don't say you can't do the disc golf thing just because you couldn't play the bottle game. Go out and give it a shot, because there's maybe a point in your life where you didn't think you could wrestle, and now look at you, you're fighting in the UFC. So you know better than anybody that if you put it in your mind, you can do it.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, bro, I know you've had a long day, 3 training sessions in. I appreciate you taking the time tonight, man. Always cool to chat with you, man. I don't think I've ever seen you look happier than you do today, except when you're sitting with your family. So blessings to you and yours, man. Anybody you want to shout out, teammates, coaches, sponsors, go ahead and take the time.
Man, shout out to American Top Team and my home gym, American Top Team, Team Lima. Fathletic Apparel. You got to get you a Fathlete shirt.
A Fathlete shirt?
Fathlete. Have you seen me rep them?
I'll have to go look at your page. I see so much stuff I don't remember it all. I'll go look on your page and see what it is.
And shout out to Barber Orthopedics, Maple and Pond Properties, my buddy Scott Brannon, Dr. Felton, and everyone who supports me. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you, brother. You have a great night, man. When you get that next fight announcement, let me know. We'll get you on and we'll talk about it, all right?
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, be good, man. Get some rest, man, and enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, see you.
Thanks, brother. Boys and girls, that was Cody Durden, UFC flyweight. Hey, he's a cool dude, man. And I really meant what I said. He's looking happier than I've ever seen him. I think that just comes with the confidence in his contract, the confidence in his ability, confidence in wins. He's making the sacrifices necessary to become the best fighter he can be inside the UFC octagon. So hats off to him. Tip the hat to him. Don't forget, tomorrow night, boys and girls, KHR Christopher James, 7 o'clock p.m., back-to-back shows for the first time in a while. We're going to have undefeated pro boxer. He's 11-0. Devin Cushing, he's joining us. He came up through Island Fights. He's fighting at Game Bred Boxing 2 on August 20th. Can't wait for that. Stephen Rothman from the Fighting News. What's up, brother? Thanks for popping on and saying hello. I appreciate you, man. Guys, go check out the Fighting News. That's my dog, Stephen Rothman, man. He kills it. He also makes T-shirts and promo materials. If you need any of that shit, hit him up. Tomorrow night, also on the show, after his huge knockout win of Vicente Luque at UFC Vegas 59, the Hands of Steel is coming back to KHR Christopher James. I'm talking about Jeff Neal joining us tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. right here on your favorite MMA talk show, where we smoke, we party, we sing, we do it all. We just like to have a good time. Anyway, boys and girls, that's going to do it for me tonight. I will see you guys again tomorrow evening, and I'll be looking forward to it. I appreciate all the love you guys show and the support, not just for me, but for my guests. It's very important. I love it. I just love it. I just love it. And that's going to do it. So, boys and girls, thank you for being part of my lives today, being part of my life today, and allowing me to be part of yours. It truly means the world to me right here in my heart. But that's it, boys and girls. Until next time, I am Christopher James, and you've been Cage Side. Good night, everybody.
What happens if you lose, Nick? Who the hell's Aquaman? I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff. Thor producers. There you go, baby.